watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
I am one of the many providers who have decided to commute to Illinois to provide abortion care.
And there's a reason why. New numbers tonight show demand for abortion services at Planned Parenthood, Illinois has increased tenfold from one of our neighboring states. Thanks for joining us. I'm McLeod Hageman.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The day the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, no longer recognizing choice as a constitutional right, Wisconsin clinics immediately halted the procedure. The impact spilled into Illinois, where there's fear clinics will be overwhelmed. WCIA 3's Renee Cooper is live in our newsroom. And Renee, today Planned Parenthood partnered between the two states.
Well, Jennifer, physicians in Wisconsin are no longer able to perform abortions, and those in Illinois are trying to juggle additional appointments. So now Wisconsin doctors are traveling to our state several days a week to fill in the gap at a clinic in Waukegan, not far from the Wisconsin border. Now, the doctors from Wisconsin and staff are already trained and licensed in the state of Illinois. Planned Parenthood Illinois representatives say the new Wisconsin team will also help with telehealth services like consultations throughout the state.
This is clear evidence that abortion restrictions and bans do not stop people from having abortions.
The CEO of Planned Parenthood Wisconsin says they've been planning for the possibility of an abortion ban for years, and that's why the Waukegan clinic was opened back in 2020. Now, Wisconsin's abortion ban dates back to the pre-Civil War era, so debate in the state continues over the enforceability of a nearly 200-year-old trigger law. But for now, no Planned Parenthood facilities in the state are performing abortions. Live in the newsroom, Renee Cooper, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Renee, thank you. A man from Paxton has died in a crash. It happened on I-57 near Thomasboro. Police say Kyle Messer's car hit a guardrail and caught on fire. He couldn't get out of the car. And we have an update on a story we first brought you on the morning show today. We now know the name of the woman killed in Champaign. 34-year-old Latoya Gwynn was shot in a home near Beardsley Avenue and 5th Street. Investigators say it was a domestic dispute. Police say the other person involved was interviewed but not arrested because they are still going through the evidence. They are not looking for anyone else. Anyone with information is encouraged to call Champaign Police or Champaign County Crime Stoppers.
Champaign and Urbana firefighters teamed up this week to help their communities. They started training at U of I's Sherman Hall Tuesday. That goes until tomorrow afternoon. They say it's important to do the training every year because they never know when a high-rise fire might happen. If it does, firefighters need to be prepared. They do their best to simulate an emergency without an actual fire. Instructors say fighting a high-rise fire is completely different than a house fire.
We can have a fire knocked out and pretty much out in a matter of the time we get on the scene, in a minute or 2 minutes or whatever, right? Very quickly. This, by the time we get water on the fire, it could be 20 minutes, could be 15 minutes, could be 30 minutes, all based on how high up it is, what the challenges are, and everything's in our favor.
Firefighters from both departments come together because most high-rises in the area are in Campus Town near the Champaign-Urbana line. If the event of a high-rise fire does happen, it would likely take both departments to contain a lot of those flames. Well, Allison Park has reached its $8 million fundraising goal. This comes after 8 years of raising money. Now, it's all part of the All In for Allerton campaign. The effort started in 2014, partnering with the U of I. Donations have helped pay for things like garden renovations, work programs, and so much more.
If you would like to see the entire list of projects, check out our website at WCIA.com. The city of Danville is saying goodbye to Cannon Elementary School nearly a century after it opened. After it flooded in 2015, officials decided the school needed to be torn down. During that demolition, crews found a time capsule. Alumni say the moment was bittersweet.
Really didn't want to see anything happen to the building. You know, as you can see, it's a beautiful building, and it's just wonderful for 100 years old. And, you know, it was kind of like a second home for many of us growing up, and even, you know, when we go by even now, it just kind of reminds us of our childhoods.
And those people are patiently waiting to see what's inside the capsule. We are working to learn when it will be opened. Here are some stories making national headlines today. The Cubs are getting sued. Federal prosecutors say the team violated the Americans with Disabilities Act with renovations at Wrigley Field. They say the changes made the game day experience better for fans, but not all fans. The suit says the Cubs, quote, removed the best wheelchair seating in the stadium, failed to incorporate wheelchair seating into new premium clubs and group seating areas. The U.S. House has passed a bill to create an Amber Alert-like system when an active shooter is in your neighborhood. It's called the Active Shooter Alert Act. This comes after the latest mass shootings in Highland Park, Uvalde, and Buffalo. It now moves to the Senate. And 22 people are dead and more than 100 wounded after Russian missiles hit a city in Ukraine. 3 rockets hit office and residential buildings. Ukraine's president called the attack an open act of terrorism against civilians in locations without military value.
A Central Illinois airport is going green, whether that will affect passengers.
And this.
Everything was gone. I mean, it's a little community right here. People lost everything. And it's sad.
It's an experience one community is no stranger to, where huge floods are impacting Americans.